everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Northern Block Podcast. It is Monday, February 2nd, 2026. I am your host here, Nordic 97, joined with LeBlock James and only LeBlock James. How we doing?
Happy Groundhog Day.
Happy Groundhog Day. We have something to announce. Tim is leaving the show. He's done. He's gone. It's over. No, he's sick. That's why he's not here today. Not feeling great. So it's going to be a solo OG kind of episode here today. So looking forward to it. Let's start off with the Stadium Series. I know LeBlanc has his opinions about outdoor games that are not in America, that are not in Canada. But the 2026 Stadium Series in Raymond James Stadium happened. And we'll go through the game. But I want to start off with talking about how this is acceptable for a setting like this. A Stadium Series is acceptable for a place like this. It's the other way around. This setting is acceptable for a Stadium Series, for a Winter Classic. It should not have happened. I thought it was great. I thought the atmosphere was great. I think Tampa Bay fans are actually true hockey fans.
Yes.
I think the scene around Raymond James Stadium was actually cool. And the only reason why it wasn't cool with the Winter Classic is because the Winter Classic is supposed to be winter when there was absolutely nothing winter about that. It was just a room temp classic. I like this. I actually really liked the backdrop and everything. I thought the pirate theme was pretty cool. I liked it.
Hey, it was cold enough for a Winter Classic.
It was cold. It was colder than what it was in Florida, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know Florida's getting hit with like a winter storm or a winter blast right now.
Yeah.
You know last week how we got all that cold ass snow?
Yeah, now they're getting
Florida's like, you know what? When you flip the coin in football, it's like we like not to receive. The second half is this week. So they're getting it now.
Yep, that's what it is. That's great.
But I really enjoyed the it looked like it was good. I know Tampa Bay. You might I was surprised that Tampa Bay is a hockey market. Like the fact that they've been there for so long and they've won. They've been at the highest level multiple times now. It's only them and the Bucks, and you can count the Rays. The Rays are all the way in St. Pete, but I feel like I've had people from Florida tell me that in the Tampa area, it's the Lightning and then the Buccaneers. Like hockey is their number one sport.
Yeah,
that might not be true to some people, but I feel like I've heard it multiple times now. I've been down to Tampa, so I've heard it around. But they said it was like 63,000 people in attendance.
Sold out. It was pretty great.
It was cold enough. It was and before we get into the game, like just the atmosphere looked great. The festivities, like you said, looked great. But the game, I think this may have been the greatest outdoor game I've seen in a while.
The best in a while, for sure. I think that a lot of what played into it was that, like, and I said this in the stream, and I even said this when it became 5-1 Bruins. I said, and you can go back and look on the live stream. It was almost 4 hours long. I said I was pretty disappointed at the result of that series up to that point, because the last ones that I've streamed and the last couple ones that we've had have just been blowouts.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year's Stadium Series was pretty close, actually. It was a good game between Columbus and Detroit. The Winter Classic last year was a 6-2 blowout for St. Louis. This year's Winter Classic was a 5-1 blowout for the Rangers. You go even further back than that. The Stadium Series games back in MetLife were pretty good. Also, the Winter Classic, which was Vegas and Seattle, was okay. But overall, like, generally speaking, there's been a lot of, like, games that are just, like, they're good, but they're never at the level of this.
Yeah.
Never. Heading into this game, the Lightning had never had a 4-goal comeback in their franchise's history. And the Bruins were also, I believe it was like undefeated in regulation when leading in the third period. Only like a couple overtime losses in there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to lie to you. I thought this game was over.
You know, they haven't blown a more than 2 goal lead all year.
Yeah. I thought this game was over. I am completely appalled that it turned around and turned into the game that it did. I thought after Morgan Geekie scored that goal, I was like, oh man, this is it. Like, it's just going to be one of these games where it's like
Mhm.
pretty underwhelming. And then power play. Bjorkstrand scores 5-2. Suddenly, and it was at the time too where like I think when Geekie scored that goal, there was like 12 minutes left in the second. And you're like, well, it's 5-1, but at the same time, there's a period and a half to go.
Mhm.
There's time. There's plenty of time. And then Bjorkstrand scores that goal, 5-2. After that, they come in there. It's another power play because Catholic took a penalty off of that play. Then there's a rebound there for Hagel. Hagel tries to put his stick through Swayman's pad. Swayman is like, all right, punches him. And then Vazzy comes in from the other end, and Swayman sees him. Oh, my God. Oh,
I
my God.
think I think that was as the kids say up here the TSN turning point. That was like
Yeah.
I feel like that got the Lightning back into the game. The what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm blanking on the word right now. The momentum. There we go.
Yeah.
Momentum from that fight. I think that got them back in the game. And always we always love seeing a goalie fight.
All right. What I want to do is I want to play my clip
Okay.
of the goalie fight because I've never done this before, but like this is something. And when we talked about the goalie fight with Nedeljkovic and Bobrovsky, like you see goalies try and come at each other, you never see full blown fights. It's pretty rare, generally speaking. And the fact that I was able to witness this was crazy. So here's my call on the fight. Shot saved by Swayman. Rebound was there. And now Swayman gets into it. He's going down, pushing at the likes of, I think that was Hagel. And he's looking for Vasilevsky. He's trying to go, and we got a goalie fight. It's Swayman versus Vazzy. Are you serious? An outdoor goalie fight at Raymond James Stadium. Vazzy and Swayman throwing the fisticuffs. Are you serious? The refs come. I can't believe I held my composure that whole fight.
Bro, you're like tweaking out too. You're like
I can't believe I actually held together for a decent call. Like I can't believe I was. You look at my face. My face is like almost purple. It's like decent. Yeah. So again, like a goalie fight on its own is insane. The fact that it happened outside, all timer, immediately an all timer. And what's crazy about that too is that was it off that sequence where they got the 5-on-3 or was that earlier? I can't remember, but anyway,
that was off
I
the
think
sequence.
Swayman,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I think Swayman got the instigator there. So it's 5-on-3. Radish or no, so it's 5-on-3. Towards the end of the first 5-on-3, the Bruins take another penalty. So they're on 5-on-3 for even longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Radish scores. Top corner, top shot.
Top cheese.
From the point. And then Nick Paul off the rebound. By the way, they were still in the 5-on-3. All of the sudden, and that was 3 goals in the span of about 6 minutes or so. It's suddenly a 5-4 hockey game.
Yeah, and like I'm like, what the hell? First of all, Nick Paul does it all. Second of all,
yes,
like even in that sequence, I think you want to point out the officiating in this game too, but I think we'll get to that later.
Yes, we'll get to that in the moment.
Yeah, but yeah, like 3 goals in 6 minutes, like that's not a great. And I think they're all power play goals, if I'm not mistaken.
They were.
Yeah.
For me, you know what? Let's get into the officiating now.
Okay.
For me, I think 2 of these calls could have been avoided. Catholic does not need to cross-check Bjorkstrand in the pads after he scored. You don't need to do that. You don't do that. The game changes.
Yeah, that's Catholic though. That's what he is. That he's a pest. I like Catholic, but he's a pest, but he does take the stupid penalty from time to time.
Yeah, and then off the draw there, Swayman gets into it with Hagel, and then obviously the fight ensues. But what I think got Swayman the penalty was him just going in there and just punching Hagel. Like, I mean, I get it. He's in your crease. He's in your literal pad. You have teammates to defend you for that.
Yeah, definitely.
The fight was great. Like, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
I would not take that back, but you have teammates to do that for you. And then the covering of the puck, I don't know. It's a rule. It happens.
It
You don't cover
happens.
the puck. I didn't really see it that well initially. I thought they were calling it for a hand pass at first.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden it was covering the puck. You can't do it.
I will say though, I think throughout the entire game, the Bruins, after the first period, because the first period I found that Tampa was very undisciplined in the first period, but
Yeah.
the second and third, and even in overtime, the Bruins they were not a disciplined hockey team at all. Like some of those calls, I'm like, yeah, that's a call.
Yeah, people are going to come at the refs for being ridiculous. And yes, we will get to the overtime thing. That was probably one of the craziest bailouts I've ever seen in my life. But a lot of these calls, like, they were justified. And I will say this, they are the most penalized team in the entire league. And they showed why tonight. They showed why. Because they take penalties like that you don't really need to take. So anyway, third period comes around. I'm expecting it's going to be even crazier. The Bruins come out with that 1-2-2 system. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, they were rolling that 1-2-2. I'm like, and Tampa wasn't getting that much time in their zone. I was like, I don't know. It's gonna be hard. Little pass around there. Cooch, I'll pull up the goal visualizer on my side here so I can actually call it. It's just, Gensel behind the net, fed up to Cooch, Chernak to McDonough, cross ice to Cooch. One timer. That was absolutely.
Usually for a game, I don't usually like vocally like cheer like yes, like when it's not Ottawa. This one, I actually vocalize my excitement because I'm like that. First of all, that goal was sick. That was sick. Top, like that was such a good goal. Oh, the Kucherov, I think was it 4 points on the night.
4-point game for Kucherov.
They're also, I think they were also undefeated when they said on the broadcast. They said Kucherov's undefeated when they score 4 points. Like, oh my god, it's over. And then they said Ryan McDonough, the most outdoor games played on that Tampa Bay roster, he's 5-0. I'm like, oh my god, it's over. It's so over.
It's over.
Oh my god, it's over.
Oh my god. So we're done there. Third period, everything comes to a close. There really wasn't that many eventful things that happened after the Kucherov goal. There was actually no penalties in the third. The refs let him play, essentially. And again, like the Bruins pretty much played defense the whole time. It was just a defensive game after that Kucherov goal.
Yeah.
Overtime comes around. David Pastrnak slashes J.J. Moser. Takes the puck the other way. Comes in on a breakaway and scores. They wave it off, no goal. Because Pastrnak was called for that slash. Listen. Sorry, go ahead.
But you see, like, when it happened, you see in the clip, and I've rewatched the clip, the ref has his arm up already. He has his arm up when it happens. It's not like it was like, oh, we're just like, we're making stuff up. No, his arm's up, but I think, and I said this to you, when you're in a building, like in an NHL arena, you're enclosed. You can hear it. It bounces off the surfaces. You are not in it here. You are outside.
Yeah.
So maybe. Yeah. I'm just going to defend the ref, which I thought I would never be doing.
What are we living in?
Either I have two scenarios. Either A, they were blowing it and they didn't hear it, which could happen, or B, the other ref didn't blow the whistle when he was supposed to.
That might be what it was.
Yeah.
You're right there. How do you not see your other? He must have been just watching the play.
Mm-hmm.
He probably wasn't looking at his other partner who was there. I will say this, like, you look at it, he has his arm up. Yeah. It's like the biggest bailout ever. Like, like Vazzy, after that, was probably so pissed, and then he found out he got bailed out. Oh my god! And of course, they don't score on the power play. If they did, that would have been hilarious.
It would.
Kucherov had that one breakaway on Swayman. Swayman, like, he allowed 5 goals. He played unbelievable.
He did. He was really good. Like,
The Lightning had 46 shots on goal. He made 41 saves.
Yeah.
He played insane. He nearly had a 900 save percentage by the end of the game with how many shots he faced.
Mm-hmm.
Even still allowing 5 goals. It was absolutely nuts. So shootout comes around. Jake Gensel scores the shootout winner. Pastrnak comes down the other way, and what does he do? Hits the post. And it's probably the greatest comeback outside in Stadium Series outdoor game history.
I think it's the biggest comeback in Stadium Series outdoor game history.
It has to be.
Yeah. That Gensel goal in the shootout. Oh, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That was a perfect shot.
Yeah, that was perfect. Absolutely incredible. It, like, again, like we criticized. I think we criticized the Winter Classic more for why it was in Florida, because it's supposed to be a Winter Classic, not a.
This felt like a Winter Classic. Like, this definitely felt. I had that feeling of the Winter Classic more with this game than it did with the one we had about a little over a month ago. Yeah, just this. First of all, it's outside. Like, it was so, I'm 100, and the temperature was a Winter Classic. It was so cold, they had to, quote, heat the ice.
Yeah.
In Florida.
That is pretty wild. Like, when you think about it, because it's freaking Florida. Like, yeah, so, wow, what a game. I mean, like, it's probably one of the best, again, you said, one of the best Stadium Series games that I've ever seen in a long time.
This one is going to be memorable for a while. Like, this is probably one of the most memorable games that we've had outside. Like, I'll be honest, it's probably in my top 3 of outdoor games right now. Recency bias, sure. I think the best one for me will always be the first one that happened. The Pens and Sabres at the Ralph. I think that will always be number 1 for me. And then it's Red Wings Maple Leafs.
Well, I have a personal thing here. The Flyers Penguins Stadium Series in 2019.
Yep, yeah, that's a good one.
That's number 1. It's kind of a core memory for me. Like, you always have those core memories. I'm sure you have plenty of core memories in your childhood of sports. That Claude Giroux overtime winner, definitely one of my core memories. I don't really have a lot of playoff ones, so it's pretty much all I have to grab on to. But this is probably a pretty close number 2. I mean, again, like, generally prior to this, there wasn't a lot of close games recently, or a lot of games where, like, you're genuinely at the edge of your seat. You're like, let's go. I am so pumped. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is awesome. It's been a long time, and this was really one of those games. Again, like, next year's Stadium Series, which was announced, is going to be in Dallas. It's going to be Stars, Golden Knights. That should be a good game.
It is. It's going to be at Jerry World, which is where the Cowboys play.
Yeah.
Once again, it is inside. The roof opens. I feel like I don't know. I don't know if you noticed, but Ottawa had a Heritage Classic like many years ago against Vancouver, and that shit was inside. I just find with the enclosed stadiums, I don't get that same feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really get that same feel. It does suck. People talk about putting a dome on Lincoln Financial Field, or building a dome. No. I've never been to the Link, but, like, it's not the same. It's not.
No.
And that's why when people talk about, like, putting a roof on Citizens Bank Park in Philly, I'm making this about me, but, like, putting a roof on those places, like, it doesn't feel the same.
The only places I feel should have roofs are baseball fields, and if they're in colder environments.
Like, I think Toronto having a roof is understandable.
You kind of need
having a roof is understandable.
I think you kind of need those 2 places. You kind of need to have the roof, because Toronto, it's way too cold to be playing baseball at the end of March.
Yeah,
Seattle, it rains every day.
Yeah.
Like in Seattle, like their dome doesn't close. It's not like enclosed. Like, you still have the air coming in.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like when you look at places like Buffalo, their new stadium, you think Buffalo, where it snows quite a bit They're not going to have a roof because that's who they are. And I always will say this. I'm going to steer us to football for like a quick second. Football should be played in the elements. That's what it was designed for. That's what I think it
Yeah.
should be, and that's why I like having a Winter Classic. I'll be honest, when we get to 2028, 20th anniversary Winter Classic at the new Ralph.
I think they're going to go there.
Yes, I
I
think
think
that.
they've said they're going to go there. I think it's coming.
Yeah.
I think it was in like a rumor piece that was put together. They do want to go back to Buffalo, which is a good idea.
Do you imagine if they do a 20th anniversary and Crosby's still on the Penguins?
That would be interesting. That would be pretty damn interesting. And he might be. Like, I think he might play a year or two more. Anyway. All right. Speaking of Crosby, let's talk about his rival, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
Flyers are on a bit of a downward slope. I want to put things into perspective here. So let's take a look at where the Flyers were on New Year's. New Year's Day. They were 47 points. They were third place in the Metropolitan Division. Listen, the Eastern Conference is a bloodbath. You're not ahead by that much. Okay, it is what it is. Whatever. You're still in a playoff spot. Now we take a look to February 1st. On January 1st, they had 47 points. On February 1st, they find themselves with just 58 points. They are now third last in the conference. You know who's also down there? LeBlanc's Devils. He got that right.
Yeah, I did. We don't talk about St. Louis, though.
Man.
We don't.
Yeah, we're not talking about St. Louis. Man, Philadelphia, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what to say. This fan base has turned on Rick Tocchet so fast.
I'm on Twitter. I've seen the tweets. I've seen, and I think one quote was, "Oh, you know, Mitch Cobb." Basically, he called Mitch Cobb fat.
Yeah,
Like he's out of shape, but it's hard to get back into shape. Like, they're not gonna fire him, obviously, unless, but like, you can't tell me Mitch Cobb's development right now isn't a concern right now for the Flyers.
So part of me is concerned because Rick Tockett's at the helm and he seems like he doesn't like to coach Mitchkov. I need to find this tweet, and I should have been more prepared with this. But while I find that tweet, I want to play this video of Travis Konechny. We're gonna get to Mitchkov, but I want to talk about this because this speaks volume.
Sure.
This speaks volume.
I don't think I've seen this clip yet. No, I've not seen this clip.
I've been through this so many times. I'm tired of missing the playoffs. That's kind of all I look at right now. I just want to get points for the team, and we need to figure something out. Yeah, I mean, try to take the positives, whenever you can. I think, I'm going to look in the mirror. I think it starts, me and Devo, we've been playing good. We've been scoring goals, but we're also giving up too. So I think if you ask me or him, we're going to say, if we can limit those, then, really.
So I'm going to just give my thoughts real quick. He sounds really dejected, but he also sounds like he's taking accountability for what he can control, but he's also sounds dejected. Like he's,
yeah,
not dejected like he wants to be traded, dejected, but like dejected like how he's tired. Like he said it himself, he's tired of missing the playoffs. And if I was in Phillies, if I was in his shoes, I think I would be. Phillies missed the playoffs, I think since the bubble year.
I would trade him.
You trade him, but they just extended, and that's the only issue now.
It is.
But also goes to show you that maybe under Tocchet, like you say, things aren't rainbows and sunshine. That's something a guy who either should be the captain or should be dealt.
I remember when he signed his contract. It was towards the end of July of 2024. I thought it was a good contract. Like, I'm not against the contract at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good player. I think he's phenomenal. He's nearly a point per game. I think he's still pretty underrated by under all accounts. I also think that we should have traded him. The Flyers are trying to be something they're not, and I said this on a tweet. It's out there. You might have seen it. They never rebuilt properly. Mitchkov landed in their arms, and whether or not they expected it to go that way, they didn't tank. They instead were pretty damn good under John Tortorella. And all the things transitioned the way they did. There you go. You were in a playoff spot, you had a collapse, whatever. You still sold your assets. That's great. You got rid of Sean Walker, you got rid of somebody else that's escaping my mind right now, but you sold assets. Eric Johnson was last year, but yes, you're right. I'm talking about 2 years ago. You go in there, and I feel like I joke about this all the time on this show. The mistake started in the 2024 draft. I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
You should have drafted Zeev Boyum. You should have drafted a defenseman.
Yep.
Where have I heard that before?
Oh, draft a defenseman!
Listen, look, how are you going to draft Jet Luchenko now and then sign Jet Luchenko and Jack Nesbitt and then sign Christian Dvorak to an extension like that?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be very frank. Those two picks specifically are looking horrid for the Flyers. I know it's early, but those two picks, and I think both, you had the same reaction to both picks. You were just flabbergasted.
I was just like, why?
Why?
I think Luchenko, I think Luchenko is going to be a very good third liner, going to be a very good PK. He's a good playmaker. He racked up a lot of assists in Lehigh Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really convert well in the NHL, but the kid's 18.
Yeah,
he's 18 years old, 18, 19, whatever. He's not a 13th overall pick.
Yeah,
neither is Jack Nesbitt.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, when you're in the first round, unless it's just like a very weak draft, your goal is to draft an impact player. Especially when you're in the lottery, and here's the thing: you don't spend a 13th overall pick on like a third line checker, like a third checking line, good penalty killer. I don't know. The Flyers, I feel like, I don't know if this is on Briere or Keith Jones, but like, drafting hasn't been great. I think the hiring of Rick Todd, which you were very against when it happened. I remember you telling me this, and I was trying to reassure you that it was a good thing. I want to rescind what I've been told, what I've said.
Well, I wanted David Carl. That was like my guy, and I was like, if I don't get David Carl, I'm gonna be angry and pout all the time. That was kind of how I was. If you look back at the podcast back then, that's how I was. My thing is like, it goes back to what I was saying. You're trying to be something you're not. You're not a team that's even built for him.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Tocchet. Vancouver fans say he sucks. I agree with you. No disrespect to him. This team's not built for it. They're not.
They're not.
And I want to go back, and we kind of got off track.
For sure.
After the draft. First of all, if they draft Boyum, they don't have this problem of who's their number one defenseman.
Yep.
Because they have freaking Boyum. And then Quinn Hughes never happens. That changes the whole timeline. But anyway, after that, you come to July 25th. There was some writing on the wall. Konechny wanted to stay. Okay, all right. You still should have traded him. You are not in the position to win.
It's a business. Like,
Konechny also doesn't fit your timeline.
When we signed that, we said he didn't fit the timeline.
No. But I liked Konechny, so I'm like, okay. I would have traded him. I'm sorry. And I really hate to say it, but I would have traded him. I love Travis Konechny.
Yeah,
I would cry if he got traded. Literally would cry. But I would rather him get traded than be in this situation. Because if you traded him, you would have got the assets back. You would have been able to actually put together something good here. Unless if they win the lottery, like, it's going to be like this for another 3 to 4 years. If they get Gavin McKenna or Ivar Stenberg or whatever, maybe things change. But if not, it's going to be like this for another 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I like Martone. Here's the thing with it too. You also signed Dvorak to that contract, which you shouldn't have signed him to. And you have a guy here who is completely destroying the development of one of your star talented players. Now, I'm going to say this. Michkov came to camp out of shape. That is on him. That is on him. I think anything else is BS. It was on him. Tocchet is not giving him the ice time. Tocchet played Michkov against the Kings a season low 10 minutes. So I want to play another clip here. Credit to PHLY Flyers, the Philly Flyers podcast. They had Rick Tocchet on their show today. It was the Flyers Carnival today or yesterday. And I want to play this.
Okay.
I haven't watched it. So we're going to get my raw reaction here on my thoughts. I didn't watch it on purpose because I wanted to hear his thoughts about why Michkov's not getting the ice time or anything like that. So here we go.
Yesterday, Matvei Michkov,
Sure.
10 minutes of ice time. The fans that I have spoken to are not happy about some of the things that have gone on since you've been here with the young player that we were also excited about a year ago. What does he have to do to get to that level and earn your trust so he can play the minutes people like me think he should get?
So you think he should get it because he's earned it, because he came, like we've talked about it, and I'll be very frank. And Charlotte, I'm a very frank guy. Honestly, I go down swinging. Yeah. Okay, Matthew did not come into camp in shape, and it's hard to play yourself in shape. I have not told him or any other players, take a guy one-on-one. Come on.
He has said in a previous quote in December that Michkov was getting back into shape.
The corner with the puck on a rush, like make a play through rush. He's having a tough time in those situations. So yeah, you can say, well, other players try. I mean, I get it. Maybe they don't have the skill set, but we're trying to get him to that level, right? How to develop him, practice, making sure that you're on time for treatments and things like. There's so much into that. The way you eat, the way that's it. You don't become a star because you think, oh, this guy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking in general.
Yeah, sure.
Any person. Look at Trevor Zegras. He, for a couple of bad years, he comes here, bought into a couple of things, and he's doing a hell of a job for us. He's a little bit of a slump, and I was trying to get him through the center position, see if I think there's a time to try it right now, whether we can do or not, we'll see, and keep putting him out there. But so that's just. I don't know if I've answered the question, but that's kind of the rules of winning.
You kind of I would say this. He kind of avoided the question. He had an answer, and then he kind of got sidetracked with something else.
Like, oh, I said too much.
Yeah. I don't know. I get it. I feel like Tocchet is kind of I'm gonna put this back to an Ottawa Senators experience. And I'm not saying he's a much better coach than DJ Smith, though. But DJ Smith, when he came in, if you were out of shape, if you weren't working hard, if you weren't putting in the work or buying in, you were not going to get ice time. Even if you were a young player, many young players even left the organization because he was hard on guys. He was hard. He wanted to be their buddy, but he was also hard on guys and was real with guys. When hey. You're not putting the work in. You're out of shape. Like Mikhail Bodker. One of the reasons Mikhail Bodker was so bad in Ottawa is because he barely played because DJ Smith sat him in the press box for multiple games because he was out of shape and wasn't putting in the work.
And how did that go for the Sens?
Well, you know how it ended. But what came in, the biggest thing was under DJ Smith, I will say that the development of those players was good. Results-wise, not so much, but you saw the development he had with players like Brady, players like Josh Norris, Tim Stützle, even Thomas Chabot, I would say really, really helped. But also, I would say the vets didn't like it, but the young guys really benefited from working from that system working hard. So maybe Michkov has to I'm going to defend Toggett slightly. Maybe Michkov has to put that work in.
I just want to
But
let
at the same time, Toggett has to play him because if he doesn't get the playing time, he's not going to develop properly.
he is putting in the work. Like you see it.
Mm-hmm.
You see it in some of the games. Like again, he's not playing phenomenal every single game. You're not going to play great every game. He has 4 points in his last 5 games. 3 of them came in one game, okay. But still, like, what does he have to do to prove to you that, like, and he's gotten better since the season's gone along.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Like, I don't understand, man. Like, you say John Tortorella's ruining this kid, then you go to Rick Tocchet, and Rick Tocchett's not ruining this kid. You know what the other problem with it, too? He came too early.
Yeah.
We figured that Michkov wouldn't come until
the year after, right? It was going to be like
not even that, like 20. We were talking 2027, 28 is like when he would come.
Because he was under like a 3-year contract with was it Sochi?
Yeah, and they got that, and I was like, all right, that's great and all. Like he's here, okay. I kind of I don't know. Like, would we be better off if we just let him stay in Russia for another year?
I think teams, especially if you look at the Russians.
Yeah, I understand like why teams would want to do it, but like
you develop them, but also I feel like when you rush the Russians, especially when they have to adapt to the North American game, and when they can't adapt, there's usually 2 options here. They get sent down to the AHL, or they go back to Russia, and I don't think either of those options are an option for Michkov.
I've been liking to just think all year that this is gonna be a down season for him. Sophomore slump, you see it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I hope that he will train in America. He will stay in America. Train all off season, and hopefully be able to play. And play better in his 3rd year and have a 3rd year success.
I'm gonna say this right now. You and me both know him staying in America for the summer is not happening.
We'll see.
Maybe coming back early and working with his teammates and his coaches. Maybe that I could see, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I really wish that like they
you wish they
good when they're not good.
There's an old saying: if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So the Flyers right now, they want to be this team that we're a playoff hopeful. You know, we're trying to be competitive when they're walking and quacking like they should be rebuilding.
It's not been sustainable. I made a video on Dan Vladar and how good he's played, and he's still been good. I don't blame all the things on him. Somebody commented on my video. They said it's not sustainable. Well, Vladar gets hurt. The fall off begins. Vladar's even been healthy, and the fall off is still here.
I will say the one saving grace, like at least you look at a positive for the Flyers season, is Trevor Zegras has looked pretty good.
That's true. I will say that. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It seems like, especially I'm going to connect these quote, like he's sounding like he's a guy that's not bought in.
Yeah. You know what?
Two, you need to buy in. Players got to buy in. That's what it is. If they don't buy in, then there's no point.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you. What if they what if they trade Trevor Zegras?
Oh my god! First of all, that would be a bad look for the organization.
It would be.
Unless they get a better return, which I assume they will definitely get a better return if they trade Trevor Zegras, but
they won't. They won't. This is just me being hypothetical.
Yeah, I know it's hypothetical, but like I think Trevor Zegras does fit the Flyers timeline.
He does. He's 24.
Yeah,
not like Konechny where he's 28.
Yeah, like Zegras fits the timeline. Zegras, it seems like he genuinely enjoys being a Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah.
Connect. I think Konechny. He's been what? It's been 10 years since he got drafted.
Yeah.
He's from that 2015 class. I get he wants to stay. I think he wants to be part of the solution in Philadelphia, but I feel like if Philly needs to cut their losses, and I saw, we'd like to have a player like Terry Panarin. Well, that doesn't fit the timeline either, so I don't know what we're doing there. But I think it's just time to cut loose guys who don't fit the timeline and guys who like rebuild. Like, I don't want to say you're at the Rangers level where like you need to sell assets, but like you guys need another major retool, which you've done it twice now and it hasn't worked out. It's time to tear it down.
They need to sell their assets. I think they need to trade guys. There's really no other acceptable thing to say.
You can
be honest with you.
Yeah, you can keep Dvorak because you signed him, and guess what? He'll be a placeholder because he fits the timeline for being a placeholder, not for being part of the core, though.
That's what he was in Montreal. That's what he will be here.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I'll be honest, that's a little sad for Dvorak because, like, I don't know. He was. I mean, I think Dvorak also fits the system for Talkit as well.
Well, he was there in Arizona.
Exactly. Yeah. So
he flourished, and he was very good under Talkit as well. He still has been. I don't know.
Why don't we move on?
I hate it. I just hate it. All right, moving on. Next up on the docket. What is next on the docket? Oh yeah, Blue Jackets. Let's talk about Columbus. 9-1 in their last 10. Wow. And as LeBlanc, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Is this something that is sustainable, or is this the head coaching boost? Because here's the thing, LeBlanc. They're 6 points back of a playoff spot now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they're 4 points back of the Islanders, 6 points back of the Wild Card.
There we go. I was going to say, here's the thing. If they were an Atlantic Division team, I would say it's not. It's a head coaching boost, but the factor in the Metro, and they're 9-1. Rick Bowness was on a fishing boat when he got the call.
He was.
Bowness loves to coach. Players love to. What I hear, players love Bowness. Bonus, excuse me. Bonus. Bonus is a good guy to play for. Dean Evanson is not really the best person to play for, as what I've been. Yeah, so I think if he wants to stay, he's got the job.
Yeah.
I think Columbus is still not making the playoffs. I don't really see them. I think it's a head coaching boost. But final answer on that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, listen, it's great that they're doing all this. It's great that they're winning all these hockey games, but it's also, for me, I'm like, not.
It seems that Columbus, if Columbus goes out in the offseason, and let's say Bonus doesn't want to return, he wants to retire. I think you need to go get a players coach for this group.
Yeah.
Because,
also,
like,
I'm gonna say this. They've played only 2 teams above the playoff line on this win streak.
That as well.
Over the stretch. So you asked, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you asked me why, like, I don't believe it. That's why.
Yeah. I really do. Like I was saying, like they've had 2 authoritarian head coaches and it didn't work. Well,
yeah, I feel like we talk about this all the time with them. They'll go on just a heater.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they work. Here's the thing. I say 2 authoritative head coach didn't work. It worked with Torch until it didn't work.
Yeah. They also lost the whole team due to Kekalainen.
Yeah.
But
Pascal, what was
Pascal
it?
Vincent. That was one of the worst.
Yeah, that was. That
Mike
was
Babcock.
Mike Babcock. We don't even need to get into Babs. That's a whole different can of worms. But Vincent, and also another guy who's known for known hard ass, didn't work. Dean Evanson, also extremely known hard ass.
Yeah.
Like,
that didn't work out either.
go get a players coach. Go get a guy like Jay Woodcroft, who he's a players coach, but he also will hold you accountable.
He will. Again, we'll see. I think they didn't even really name. Did they name Bonus as the temporary? I thought it was more of a permanent.
He's
thing.
temporary. He signed a 1-year deal.
He is? Okay. All right. Yeah, my thing with it is like, I don't really believe it. I think it's good the team's playing better because, there's the young players can develop better and they can improve. Coaches play a factor in young players, obviously. But playoffs are not a reality. If they make the playoffs, Zach Werenski probably could win like a Norris or a Hart. Like, he's up there.
Dude, if they make the playoffs, give Werenski the heart. Like, I get McKinnon's doing all these things, but like, give it to Werenski.
Well, it's the same thing about Celebrini. If the Sharks make the playoffs, Celebrini deserves the heart.
Yeah.
Like, that's my opinion on it, and that's what should happen if it ends up going down that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, like, I really don't believe it going the way that they say it's going to. We'll see. There's still plenty of time to go in the season, but I'm not bought in. All right, next up, let's talk about the Maple Leafs, who have begun their selling process. Elliot Freeman reported on 32 Thoughts. The Leafs are waving the white flag. Their season is done. 2-6-2 in their last 10. I live stream them tomorrow. They'll probably win because that's how it works. But they have been not good, as we said. But Brad Treliving has a chance to potentially pull off a Don Sweeney-like trade deadline last year with lesser assets. We'll see.
I don't trust. I don't trust Brad Treliving to go make me a sandwich. Like,
I don't. But we're going to talk about the guys that they could possibly sell and the guys that are potentially on the market. So
for sure.
I need to clear this up. Austin Matthews, William Nylander, Matthew Nyes, and John Tavares are not getting traded.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's people that think like they're going to get dealt. Never understood that.
Like first of all, like trading Matthews. Also, like, why? What's the point?
You might as well just go back into
You might as well just start the rebuild.
You literally will just go back into a rebuild. What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, those dudes are untouchable unless I don't know why, but like I know they've waved the white flag now, but like last week we were talking about Robert Thomas.
No.
You
think they're trading Matthews for Robert Thomas?
No, not Matthews. You were talking about like Nyes.
Yeah. The worst part is that they don't have either of their next 2 first-round picks.
Which is honestly insane now. I think we had to talk the other day where let's say the Leafs finish like bottom 5. They pick this one. Their next year's pick would be unprotected, which means as well their following year's pick, which would go to Philadelphia, would also be unprotected.
I don't know, man. I personally think like this trade deadline for them to sell, it needs to be like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
For Brad Treliving. Like you have to just go in there and just absolutely trade everything you can within reason.
Good for Treliving. It looks like it's trending to be a seller's market.
Yeah, which is definitely a good thing for sure. The number one guy that I've seen be posed out there as a potential guy who could be traded is Bobby McMahon.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too.
Yeah.
I'm restricted free agent at the end of the year. I like Bobby McMahon. I think he's a good third liner.
We will see what the return is. I said that it could be something similar to a Kiefer Sherwood-esque return. You disagree with me? You think
I disagree with you a little bit because I feel like Sherwood brings more value. I think McMahon. I think a second. I asked for a second for McMahon.
I think you could get a second and maybe a third as well.
Okay, I'll agree with that.
McMahon does have more points than Sherwood, but Sherwood does lead the league in hits. He is a power forward.
And Sherwood also was injured.
Yeah, that as well. But again, it's a seller's market. You really could see a team overpay for somebody like that. Like it's not that out of the question.
I mean, one guy goes off the market, teams get desperate.
They do. We've seen it plenty of times before. So I don't know. Not gonna lie. We'll see what happens with Bobby McMahon. Also, a guy who's been talked about, and I think he stays. I think Leaf fans want him to stay. Scott Lawton. He's in the last year of his deal. I think the general consensus around Toronto has been like they will give him a number, and they will not budge from that number. If they don't want to go with that number, they will trade him.
Yeah, I feel like with Scott Lawton, like go recoup your assets.
That's my thing with it too. Is like, don't you want to just like like I get it, he's been great for you, but like, if like what direction would you say they're heading in right now? Are they heading in towards a retool, or is it just a down year?
It's retool. I feel like you got to just retool. Like they have the pieces there. They got decent. They got good forwards. Their defense, I feel like their defense just needs work. They've been injured too. They got a good goaltending tandem when they're healthy. I feel like this is more of a retool than a rebuild.
Well, I meant like, could they turn this around in one season, or is it a retool type of thing?
I feel like next year they're also going to be like, they'll be a hopeful next year. I don't think they're gonna bounce back and be top 2 in the division.
They'll be like a top team to bounce back. I just know it. They'll be a top contender to bounce back.
Knowing Toronto's history, when they miss the playoffs, knowing their history, they don't get back for at least 2 to 3 years. That's what history says.
I don't know. Anyway, also a name that's been out there, Matthias Micheli, just not really fitting in there.
It did not work. It just has not worked.
I mean, I could have told you that.
I think you did tell me that.
I did. Did. I mean, like I said, he could work. He didn't get a lot of ice time in Utah. If he's put under the right players, maybe. But
Toronto also needs to, if they want to do. I know it's a really bad free agency class, but if they shed cap, they can get somebody. I don't know who. Not Panarin. I'm not putting that out there. We're not putting that out.
No, you should not do that. That'd be a horrible idea. That would defeat the purpose of rebuilding or retooling. If you're just going to go out and acquire a guy who's 34 and also doesn't really fit your timeline.
Yep.
So I know we're talking about timelines, but it's like it doesn't really fit it. So Micheli's out there. I've also heard Nicholas Waugh. His name's been spread around a little bit.
I was going to say Nick Waugh. He makes $3 million. He has another year left on his contract. I'm going to say this right now. Don't be surprised if Vegas comes knocking.
Vegas might come, with their need for centers. They could ask for him back. Maybe they'll give him back Marner. Who knows?
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
No, that would never.
No, I don't want to happen. Could you imagine? Hey.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. There has been one guy that I've heard. They want him gone. They want to try and move away from him. They think this is over. I have no idea how it would work, and that's Morgan Riley.
I was gonna say, I knew exactly what you're talking about, just with the description. Leaf fans do not like Morgan Riley. Like Morgan Riley's been elite. He thinks he's the longest tenured Leaf as well.
I believe so. You are correct on that sentiment. Yes,
he is making 7.5 until 2030.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you're moving on from that.
You have to get a team. Also, Morgan Riley's 31.
That as well, dude. Like,
so, 32, 33, 34, 35. He'll be 35. Yeah, he has 4 years left.
After this year. Yeah, it's like, man. I've heard his name out there. I don't think that happens. It's not happening during the season either. I can't see it, man. I can't see it.
I got a guy who I think I don't know. I think it's a better contract to move. What about OEL?
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go next. I think OEL, you got to look into it, for sure. When you're talking about guys who have had an unbelievable season. The problem is, though, is that he's 34. That contract will take him until he's 37 years old. You might have to retain a little
Might
bit. It's
retain,
$3.5 million, though. He's having a phenomenal year. He's a cup winner. He won a cup in Florida.
Yep.
You gotta see what the market's out there for him.
The market for defense is going to be pretty large. See, there's not a lot of defensemen on the market.
He's having his best season in years.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're talking, you're going back to
Arizona.
like days in Arizona.
Yep.
His career high in points, I think, was 55. He might get pretty damn close to that at 34. He's at 33 right now. I think that's a possibility. So OEL's been talked about. I also saw Simone Benoit. He could be a good seventh defenseman. He has another year left after this year, though.
He makes not a lot of money.
He makes 1.3.
Yeah, he's also an op.
So I think you could move him too. If you can find somebody that would make the money work and all that, you could do that also.
Yeah, I think the goalies, you don't move those goalies. I think those goalies are pretty safe.
The goalies stay.
Plus, they just extended Stolarz for till 2030.
Yeah, so the goalies are staying. That is not changing.
So I'm looking at this right now. Realistically, your assets are, and I say buy McMahon, Mateus Michelli, who does have RFA rights, by the way.
He does.
Who's been asking for a change of scenery? Nick Robertson. You could move him too. Maybe I don't even think Cal Yarncroke would garner much return. Scott Lawton makes 1.5, so I think you need to look into that.
I think you could get the return you got for him.
You can, and he doesn't make a lot of money, and a contender will definitely take Scott Lawton. Like a Minnesota, a Vegas would take him.
A Minnesota would kill for a Scott Lawton.
Yeah,
they would love that.
Yeah. Now that I say it out loud, it's gonna happen.
That would be awesome, dude.
Yeah. I think it goes McMahon, Scott Lawton, and I'm gonna say OEL. I think those are your best assets right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's a matter of being able to recoup those not only recoup the assets, but also actually make competent trades.
If they could get a first, I think guaranteed. I think in there is one first round pick. It might not be for this year. It might be for the following draft, though.
Yes, you may not get one for this year, but it's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing.
I literally, like, as it stands right now, they're not getting their first.
Yeah. I feel like if they can get a first and maybe 2 seconds with those assets, I call that a good deadline.
Yeah.
I don't think there's 2 firsts in here. I see it on Twitter. We can trade McMahon to get a first. Like, that's not happening. Like, can we come back to earth, please?
No. Yeah.
Also, did you see the tweet I sent you of Steve Dangle? I don't know. I saw the tweet and I thought he was on the methamphetamines.
Wasn't I the one that literally sent that? Wasn't I the one?
I think I sent it to one chat. You sent it to another chat. That's why.
So with that take, I see the vision. If you take away the 3rd round pick, maybe it's not as crazy. You're taking on Mangiapane.
Yeah, I get that part, but like that's like 5 or 6 draft picks though.
I think it was 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When do you see teams trade 5 draft picks in a trade?
Yeah, it's not often you see that. I'm not huge on that, so I don't know. We'll see, but
yeah. Also, right. Nick Waugh. Nick Waugh could get you a good return as well.
Yes, Nick Waugh could get you a good return.
Like they have 2 centers they could and center. We got a lot of center needy teams this deadline.
You do. We'll see if they're able to actually play smart with that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. All right, moving on from that then. Let's talk about the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres are, I think it's 21-3-0 since Kevin Adams has departed. They have been absolutely insane. Alex Lyon has 10 straight wins as a Sabres goaltender. He's been phenomenal. Actually, did he lose against Montreal? That may not be
true.
He
lost to Montreal, yes.
Oh, okay. So he had a 10-game winning streak. He lost to Montreal. Okay, there you go. That's over. But he was playing phenomenal. The Block, right now they currently stand at that last wild card spot, but they are 6 points ahead of the. Actually, no. Let me actually pull it up here real quick. They're actually.
They're 6 points ahead of Columbus right
8
now.
points ahead. 8 points ahead of the next Atlantic team.
Yeah, so they're 8 points ahead of Florida and Ottawa and Toronto. Why is this division so goddamn close? Like,
Man, that's. I never realized how far Florida was. Oh Lord.
yeah, Florida hasn't looked great. Florida lost to Winnipeg this weekend.
Good luck. Good luck, Florida. They might not make it. Just because with the injuries they're dealing with, and
They also don't have their first round pick.
Bobrovsky's had a really bad year.
Yeah, he has.
Anyway, going back to Buffalo, they
Yep.
have 67 points. They have 31 wins. LeBlanc, I ask you this question: is this legit, or are they peaking too early?
They're peaking too early.
Okay, and why?
Listen, name me a team that goes 21-3-0. Like,
Not a lot of them.
Like, I'll be honest, I feel like Buffalo, like, they're 7-2-1 in their last 10. Losing to Montreal stings, especially when you had the lead.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I feel like it's just me talking out my ass. I feel like Buffalo is due for a losing streak.
Maybe it's starting here with Montreal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Washington's got stuff left in the tank. Florida's got stuff left in the tank. Ottawa has some left in the tank. Toronto, wait the white flag. Don't worry about it. But and Columbus is the closest one to them right now. 3 losses by Buffalo, 3 more wins by Columbus, and we're talking about a different scenario. Actually, no, wait, they'd be in the Metro actually, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, brutal.
Because I keep forgetting that the last in the 8th in the East is actually 3rd in the Metro.
First in the Pacific is actually first in the Atlantic. There's actually last in the Atlantic. So,
is that true?
No, they said the same amount of wins.
I'm like, I'm about to rain hellfire. Like,
no, they just said the same. They just said the same amount of wins.
Right? Yeah.
It is interesting though because the first place team in the Pacific is ranked 12th.
But they have 18 regulation. Like, they have 18 regulation wins. That's the same as New Jersey. Like,
LeBlanc, the 2 wild card teams in the East are above the Pacific Division team in the West, the top Pacific team.
That's actually freaking insane. We always joke like the Pacific is a joke of a division. This might be the year we finally get actual talks about realignment.
Like it's
like we go back to 1v8.
We've been talking about it for many years.
I know. This might be the final straw.
Yeah, this has been a really terrible year.
Like for the East, it's been a great conference this year. Like competitive all around. Every team is good. Maybe not the Rangers, but like every other team is still like from I'll say from the 8th in the East, which is the Islanders with 65 points. Every team is within 7 points of that, except for the Rangers. The Rangers are big booty cheeks.
Can't believe it, man. It's absolutely nuts.
That's nuts.
Quick hits around the league. You want to talk about Omar coming back?
Omar came back. They had a great pre-game ceremony for him. He got a standing O. I got a video of it on Twitter. I posted it. He got a huge standing ovation. First star of the game. He had a great interview with Kira Johnston after the game. He looked like himself again.
Good.
He played phenomenal. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but like the Sens could rally around this and go on a run.
We'll see.
It's not the first time the Sens goalie has stepped away from the team and then come back and then they rally around him. late in the season.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll have to see
We'll
what
see. We'll
happens.
see. It's tough. It's tough. I'm not boldly saying we're back, but like
It's great to see him
it was
back,
great to
though.
see him back. Yeah.
Olmark also, being back and being well is great. Remember when he
Yes,
said he played his last game with the Sens?
Yeah. What idiots we were.
Man, yikes, not great. Did you notice? So there was a little fun tidbit that came, um, in Charlotte, this past week involving the Checkers and I think it was the Providence Bruins who were down there. So
Okay.
there was that big storm in Carolina, right?
Yeah. Most snow in 10 years down there in Charlotte.
They decided to play the game, but not
Oh,
allow any fans. So it looked like it was like COVID
the COVID year.
at the game. Yes. So I thought
God,
that was pretty fun.
I did not know that.
No, so they played the game, but they didn't allow any fans to come in attendance. It really just very interesting. It was very, very interesting how that transpired and all that. But I thought that was pretty funny.
I got a notice today on my phone just because like I just have notifications from ESPN. They moved so the New Orleans Pelicans are going to play the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. The game was scheduled for 7 p.m. They moved it to 3 p.m.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, what's the point of that?
Is there more snow coming? Like, is there?
Yeah, I don't know.
For me that makes zero sense. I'm like, here's the thing, like up where we live, I think we know how to handle a little bit of snow. Down there they don't got the resources for that though. They don't got the equipment to handle that. So I think I find it always funny to see how anyone below the Mason-Dixon line handles snow.
Yeah, even below like the Canadian border, some of us are just so stupid. Like I'm used to it up here. I'm like, all right, it's whatever. I just go through it. Like I'm used to it.
Yeah.
There were people who were like, I had to get a hotel because of the snow. I'm like, brother,
It's like not even an inch
on the ground.
Like it's not even an inch, brother. That's like 5 centimeters.
Yes. But yeah, like I was getting comments in the chat today because it's cold in Tampa too.
Yeah.
They were saying like I had to get a coat. I'm like, oh my god, you had to get a coat. What a horrible life you must live.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. How cold was it in Tampa via?
It was 41 degrees Fahrenheit because we love to be special.
Hang on. I got it's 41. That's not. I know that's not in the negative. Good thing I got my calculator. You said how much Fahrenheit? 41.
41 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe it was.
That's 5 degrees. Like,
yeah, that's not even that bad in Celsius.
That's spring.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, that's still with the wind though. Might be. That's still chilly for Florida. That is really cold though.
That is really cold. Yeah. All right, that's kind of all I got.
Hot topics on sports and anything you got.
I mean, the Super Bowl is coming. We're doing our preview on that.
Yeah. What up the outdoor game? Penn State.
Ooh, yes, that was great. I don't really want to talk about it because Tim isn't here. It sucks that he's not here because I would talk about it more in depth. But Michigan State won. It was a great game. It was a great spectacle. It was cool to see it from Beaver Stadium. I wish I could have gone. I didn't go, sadly. Michigan State won. Who cares?
Were the tickets expensive?
They weren't that bad.
Okay.
Honestly. Some people were saying that the Stadium Series went for like $500. I'm like, that's actually not that terrible.
I mean, for me, like, I don't want to say I'm cheap, but like that sounds like a lot of money. It sounds like a lot.
I don't know. For like typically for other Stadium Series and all that other outdoor games, it feels like it's way more expensive than $500. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Super Bowl tickets were like $23,000 to like sit in the nosebleeds. I'm like, ain't that fun? But I would love to do that. Just love to like save up money to go to like a Super Bowl or something, or
Hold up, hold on. I got currency. I'm gonna do U.S. dollar to Canadian. You said $500.
Probably like 800 Canadian.
Yeah. So, well, my app just closed. Lovely. $500 US. God, that's almost like $700, guys.
Yeah, I know. it's brutal for you, but it doesn't seem that bad for me.
Those seats better be fucking good. Like, I'm paying that much money.
I don't know. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the Northern Block Podcast. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We promise Tim will be back for the next episode. But anyways, that is it for us.
Not on my watch.
Not on his watch. That is it for us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Ciao.
I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need an omen or sign. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. Be getting it. My skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Me now. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it, it's mine. I'm selfish. Yo, will tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. No yes men. I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you. I just do what I do. Check. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do.